Alright, so the first and most amazing information about this comes from 2 studies done in Japan. The first one was studying 40,530 people over 11 years, all adults, and found that women who drank green tea were 23% less likely to die during this period, and men were 12% less likely. When it came to dying from strokes, specifically, women were 42% less likely, and men were 35% less likely. Which is insane, really, given how large the number of participants was. It was a huge number. Another study was done shortly afterwards. This time it was 14,001 adults over a 6-year period, and the participants who drank green tea were 76% less likely to die during this 6-year period. 76% less likely to die during the study. Sorry, I left the washing machine on. Incredible. I mean, like 76% less likely to die. It's so incredible it's hard to believe, but I mean the studies were pretty enormous and well carried out, and carried out over a very large period of time. So yeah, kind of amazing. There are other things to consider. I mean, someone who drinks green tea obviously is more likely to be I would say more likely to be into health in general, probably more likely to be into things like meditation, probably likely to have better heart health in general for reasons other than drinking green tea. Also, the alternatives are often quite unhealthy, like coffee has a huge amount of caffeine in, and a lot of people drink way too much, and that's like really bad for your heart. Probably also people who drink coffee are like more likely to probably have stressful jobs. In Japan, we're talking about, there's probably quite a big difference between like people who maybe don't work or have sort of peaceful lives, and then obviously, they have like quite a demanding work culture there. So a lot of the people who were, dying during those studies, probably people who were like working pretty hard and slamming coffee all day, and it's not necessarily straightforward to just say that the green tea is what made them, live longer, but pretty amazing, really, in general. Pretty amazing data. Yeah, it tastes really nice. I drink it every day. It's shown to improve your capacity to burn fat. That data is a bit more shaky, but quite a lot of studies have shown that it increases fat oxidation and reduces fat in people and aids in burning fat in general. It has loads of cognitive benefits. Also, there were 2 other studies on diabetes, again in Japan, this one. I don't know why they're so obsessed with studying green tea, but they found that those who drank the most green tea had an approximately 42% lower risk of type 2 diabetes. And another review of 7 studies totaling almost 300,000 participants found that green tea drinkers had an 18% lower risk of diabetes. So, and I guess that's diabetes in general, not just type 2. So probably the decrease in type 2 diabetes was almost as significant as the 42% from the other study. So that's pretty amazing. You can also, in concurrence with that, you can also drink it while you're fasting. So it doesn't have to break your fast. So if you're doing intermittent fasting, you can have green tea in the morning and not eat for a few hours, which will also help, to avoid type 2 diabetes, and just improve your energy levels throughout the day because you're not hammering your insulin receptors. I really like it. I really look forward to it now, like every day. It's a good, like, moderate amount of caffeine, and it tastes really nice. And it has a bunch of other health benefits besides the ones listed here. There are loads. I think it fights bacteria in your gut potentially as well. The only other thing is there are studies linking very high green tea consumption with a mild reduction in testosterone. I looked into this because I'm always trying to sort of like optimize that, and seems fine. I think if you have a normal amount, it's not a problem really. I think it's only a problem if you're having like, if you're like supplementing it and having loads. So I just have like 1 cup a day anyway. I don't really think that's doing much. And like you can't I've realized when looking up supplements recently and stuff, like so many things affect so many different things when you look into the research. Like there's just so many vitamins you think you're taking that are completely innocuous. And like even now I've been learning recently, like it's not good to take fish oil near a workout, a strength training workout. You wouldn't have thought that, it's kind of ridiculous really. Like it's a bit annoying that you have to be so careful about everything you do. But I started to realize that like ultimately so many of these things have a knock-on effect, and there are so many supplements I take that inadvertently, for not even the reason I'm taking them, but boost testosterone in some way. I figure if this one thing has like a tiny effect, it's worth it if it extends your life and has loads of other benefits. And I think the increase in cortisol from having caffeine without theanine and other forms of like much higher doses of caffeine, probably not very good for your testosterone levels either. And I'd rather, I also, in all honesty, I mean, from everything I could gather, it really has like a very, very, very negligent impact. It's not really even worth thinking about. It's almost nothing. And at that level, you might as well start microanalyzing every single piece of food you eat and everything you do. And I think that's just boring. So, good. So yeah, check it out. It's good. It's easy. It's really cheap. You should drink it every day, in my opinion.